Welcome, grade 11s, to Life Sciences. Can you believe it? Another great show here on Mindset Learn Extra. So today we're going to be doing animal nutrition, proudly brought to you by Macmillan. And don't forget, if you have any questions for me, I'll be here with you. Llewellyn's here with you, and we're going to be answering all of them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Learn Extra. Or if you have Twitter, you can hit us up on the Twitter handle @LearnExtra. And if you want to be really prepared, then go get all the notes, videos, and all these things that are going to be shown in the lesson at the website page, which is www.mindset.co.za/LearnExtra with an X. So I think that's time. Let's go straight into the lesson because Llewellyn has so many things here for you, and I'm so excited for all of you to see it. Let's go. Llewellyn, show us.
Hello. Well, I don't think she was telling the truth. I've got nothing today. I thought we would start off nice and clean slate, right? Now, we're doing animal nutrition. So what I've decided is we need to break it up into specific parts, okay? Now, we're going to start off with mechanical, okay? Because mechanical's the most, well, not the most important, but can you imagine trying to swallow an apple without biting it? Have you ever seen an ostrich? An ostrich you can give a whole apple to, and it puts it into its beak, and and you see this apple going down its throat. Do you know how sore that must be for me? Right? I've got a small little esophagus, so you must understand where I'm coming from. So what I've done, we've got to start off with mechanical digestion, or mechanical part of digestion. Okay? Now, the whole thing that we do is on mammals. Okay? We're not looking at reptiles or AVs or frogs or anything like that. We're looking at mammals. It's the most specific thing out. Okay, so what we're going to start off with, you get three types of animals, right? You get carnivores, you get herbivores, and you get omnivores. Okay? Now, if we had a look at a food chain, right? We'd start off with plants, which we've done with photosynthesis. Okay, and then we go to herbivores. Okay, so we're going to start off with herbivores. Now, I know that I've got, here it is, nice and simple herbivore. There we go. Okay, I've got these because it's so nice to see things in real life than just on a board all the time, right? So this is a zebra. Okay, it's quite nice. You will see that it looks like it's got teeth missing if I open it up. It has got teeth missing there, but if I turn it this side, it's got no teeth over here whatsoever, okay? Over here, it's got certain teeth, and at the top, it's got certain teeth, and if I turn this over, see all the teeth, okay? Now, each specific teeth does a specific job, okay? Especially on the herbivores, okay? Herbivores only eat plants, which means most of the time, all they're going to be doing, right, is going along. Let me put the head back on. They're going along, and this head comes along, there we go, and it grabs grass. So what's it doing in the front? It's cutting the grass off, right? Then it's going in, and then it chews, okay? Now, as it's chewing, it's going through these specific parts here, okay? These are called your premolars and your molars, okay? So they've got teeth in front, which are your incisors. They cut very easily, okay? Then you've got nothing else, because they don't need anything else. And then they've got the grinding. Okay, so I've got this one. As I said, it was a zebra. And I thought, because, you know, to me, this is what life's about. Always bigger is better. Okay, now, sometimes you cannot get a whole jaw. So I've got part of a jaw. So if I have a look, here it is. I just got to move it. Okay, we're going to go with that. Can you believe, what do you think that is? Okay, this animal, it's got these big horns on the top, but it's not like antelope, okay? It's not these horns that spiral like your kudu and your springbuck and all of that. These have got horns on the top, also for fighting, but it's bone, okay? This is got a very long neck, okay? But it's got the same amount of vertebrae as what we do, okay? Which means it's the bones in the neck, okay? And if I turn it over, that makes a lot of dust because it's all rubbish inside. But here are its teeth as well. They're nice and loose because there's no gums to keep it in, okay? But have you noticed it's in the bone, okay? It is in the bone, which is the most important thing out, okay? So if you go to, I've got more here. You go to a a dentist or whatever, right? The dentist says, well, these ones we can just pull out, it's nice and easy, and these ones you can't. Now, these ones are difficult to pull out, that's why they're still there. But if I had to do this, just to show you what those look like, okay, I made sure I brought teeth. There they are. That's the part that you're seeing now. This is the part that's actually inside those holes, okay? Now, these don't fit in here, okay? These are from a different animal, but I brought them along so you can see it. And what they actually do is they go together and they grind, okay? As they're moving, they're grinding along. Now, I know there's a specific one I can pull out. This is the one, I'm sure. There we go. Look at that, okay? It's got little roots, and these roots are difficult to pull out, and they hurt like you have no idea. They actually have sensors inside, or your nerves, to actually give it a bit of life. Right, so when you saw and you have toothache, that's the problem, okay? When you have a bad tooth, which I'll show you, it actually hurts you quite badly because all the nerves are inside. Right, so let's have a look. These are called your molars, right? Then you get your premolars, which are a little bit smaller, and if you have a look, they've actually got quite a sharp edge, so they're actually almost like cutting, okay? Then, if you have a look, let's look at human teeth, right? I also brought human teeth. There's our molars. Look, nice. Brought some nice molars, okay? See how nice and big they are? Then I've got your premolars, which are these two, okay? And look how these have started rotting. They started getting holes in them, okay? So we made sure that we had these, okay? Here, you won't believe it, this is a canine, okay? We'll talk about canines later, but look at the hole inside there, okay? So they do get damaged. There is, I brought all different kinds. These are your incisors. They cut, okay? And there's all the teeth that I could find or possibly find in my classroom and all over the place. Right, these are very important. So let me pick them up so we've got space, okay? Now, we've spoken about these animals that we don't see often. We normally see them on TV, or if we go to the Kruger Park and places like that. But we haven't spoken about animals that we actually see all the time, okay? So what about your normal sheep? Now, sheep is quite a nice, I don't have the top of it, but I have the bottom part of the jaw. Now, if you have a look, this is quite strange. If I had a look, let me put this one out of the way so we can show you. If I have a look at this one, I'm going to take the top jaw off so we can only see the bottom jaw so you can compare it. This here, remember, is a zebra, okay? It's got two teeth in front. They cut the grass, nothing in between, premolars and molars. This one has got exactly the same, but it's got four teeth in the front, okay? Four incisors. If you have a good look, okay, it's four incisors. They're sticking out quite far. They have got slight teeth in front. You can see them over here, okay? And then they've got the premolars, which are the smaller ones, and then they've got the molars at the end, okay? This is your sheep. This is your, what do they call it? They normally say your horse in pajamas. There we go. The horse in pajamas, it is your zebra. Okay, so that is your carnivores. Now, I'm going to explain all of this on the board a little bit more in detail, but at the moment, I just want you to see it in real life. Okay, now, the next one I've got for you is very simple. It is a carnivore. Now, your carnivores have a specific part, okay? It's very, very nice carnivores in mammals. They actually have this long tooth. I've got a spare one here. This long tooth, there it is. A nice long tooth. Now, that there is a canine. Okay, now, the canine, can you remember you always say your canines are your dogs and that? Now, this is a canine. This is there for tearing and ripping meat, okay? And we actually notice this in your lions and your hyenas and all. They've all got nice big canines. So I've brought a jaw, teeth are missing again, nice big jaw of a carnivore, okay? Now, the carnivore has this big tooth in front here. It's still got the incisors in the front, okay? But they have special teeth over here, okay? I'm going to mention those special teeth later. But these teeth, okay, these teeth are there. If you have a look at it, let me get a herbivore tooth again. Well, I've got some here, okay? Let's have a look. I'll get a herbivore's tooth out here, nice big one so you can see it. Have a look at that one and have a look at these. Look at the difference, okay? This one is for grinding, and this one is for tearing. It actually cuts. That tears, that cuts, okay? It's carnassial, I'm trying to think of the name now. I'll get it later. I know I've got it here somewhere, so I'll do remember it. But these teeth actually cut it. They cut the meat. So if you watch your dogs, okay, your dogs don't take food into the front of their mouth and then chew it in their back, okay? These guys, they actually go and they pull the meat as they're trying to eat. They've got this whole big carcass and they turn their heads and they chew on the side of their mouth while their face is still connected to the dead animal, okay? Because it needs to cut this whole meat off. Have you ever seen that, Megan?
Yeah.
It's quite cool, though, hey?
Yeah.
Now you know
My dog
exactly
does
why it
that.
actually does it.
Mm.
Okay? Those teeth are for cutting, and that's what makes this one so special. Now, I've got a nice big jaw, and of course, if we've gone big, we need to go small. So, there we go, a nice jaw. Nice and small little rodent. Okay, it's not a rodent, I'm lying to you. Okay, this is almost like a cat. Okay, it's got its long canines, as you can see. Okay, it's also got those teeth I was talking about. Okay, it's got the front teeth in the front, the incisors. Okay, and it has got nice long canines. Okay, very important for canines. That's how you pick it up. Now, I want you to have a good look at those canines. Now, canines are, you normally get them in your meat eating, so your carnivores, but we actually have omnivores as well. Okay, your omnivores actually have smaller canines than the rest of us. Okay, so let's have a look. I know I have something here that is an omnivore. Do you know what an omnivore is, Megan?
Yes.
Okay, so can you give me an omnivore just off the top of your head?
Isn't omnivore like both?
Both, it eats both. Give us an
Yes.
animal, do you think that's got one?
An animal that eats both.
Yeah.
A human.
Nice, the human, very nice. So now we've got the human. Okay, so now that we've got the human, we can actually see the teeth of a human. Okay, so I've got the skull of a human, and you can see, I know that it's not real. It's plastic. It's not bones. Okay, otherwise I'd be in big trouble. But you can see all the teeth. It's got a nice set of teeth, right? And they're nice and white so that you can actually see it. Okay, but what I've done, you won't believe it, on Sunday I ate a sweet. It was a chewy sweet, and I bit into the back of onto the back tooth, and all of a sudden I broke my tooth. Can you believe it? So where do you think I went on Monday? I went to the dentist, which was the best thing ever. Okay, which I know that a dentist can hurt with injections and all of that, but that aside, I got to speak to a dentist about bringing you something to see. Now, they gave me certain things. They gave me this, okay, to show you. Now, this here is quite cool. These are molds of real people's teeth, right, before they go and get their false teeth, or if they need crowns, or if they need bridges, or something like that. This is the real teeth. Now, if you have a good look, you can see the inside of their mouth and their palate. Now, you try and show me, or tell me, if I can do it nicely, which one do you think would be the top, and which one do you think would be the bottom? Okay, have a good look. There's 3. 2 yellows and 1 white. 3, okay? This one, the white one, definitely is the top, because you can see the palate, right? Here all the teeth, you see the palate. If you look at the other yellow one, look, it's another palate. Look at this one. Can you see there's something funny here? That's where your tongue is connected. So that is the bottom. Now that is just by looking at the top 2. If you have a look at the teeth itself, okay, this is the top. Look at the front part of it, and look at the front part of that. What do you see about the incisors? Okay, you see how these incisors are twisted inwards. Okay, the reason why they're twisted inwards, if I put this together, if you have a good look and you bite down, your top teeth, your top jaw goes over your bottom jaw, okay? And these ones go over the bottom jaw, and these ones pull the food in, okay? So these cut nicely, and these also cut, but they overlap each other. They don't go one on top of each other. Just try put your teeth on top of each other, the front teeth. It feels quite awkward, hey? It feels like your jaw comes forward. It's terrible, okay? So these are proper human's teeth, but just in used gel and all of that. They do a whole funny thing to get it going, okay? So you can actually see how loose they are. But what I want to show you, put those aside. This is what I want to show you. Can you actually see where the canines are, where the incisors are, where the premolars are, and where the molars are? Okay? I don't think you're going to see it. I would have a look. And I remember a dental formula. It's quite easy, okay? It's 2, 1, 2, 3, okay? It's 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, and 3 molars. Now remember, that's your complete jaw, Okay, this one is most probably missing one, but it's definitely 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now look at this canine here. You see the canine? It's very small. If I bring that other one out, look at the difference. Okay, that is the jaw. If I hold it up like that. Okay, look at that canine. If I do it like that, look at that canine, and look at this canine here. Okay, it's not very big, right? So this is an omnivore. The reason why it's an omnivore, this has teeth to cut, right, and to tear meat. This one has to cut, to tear, and to grind. Okay, now, those were the omnivores, which are quite cool and quite nice. Now, I've got one more thing. One more nice thing. Now, this is quite cool. You don't see this quite often. Now, I got this skull, right? I had to adapt it so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So, where the teeth were missing, I put things in so that you can see it. Now, I'm going to put the skull on. I'm going to give you a count to 10 in my head, and I want you to think about what do you think this animal is. And then I want you to tell me whether it's a herbivore, an omnivore, or a carnivore. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I need a bit of muscles. So I'm going to get Megan to come this way for me, and we're going to get her on TV and let's get her picking these things up, give her a bit of muscles, right? Because she's got more than I have. Right. So you grab that side, and we pick it. It's not heavy.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Look at this. You don't get this very often, right? Okay, that there is nice and big. I mean, just look at this. Okay, this is, you won't believe it. This is one of the biggest human killers in Africa. One of the biggest human killers in Africa. Now, what I've done, I'm going to come around here. See, I've put paper in here, right? And you can see that they're going to be incisors, right? Think about it carefully. Those are your incisors. Then you've got these big things here, right? Which would be your canines, right? And then you've got this small one here, if you can see it nice and clearly. Okay, the small one here. Okay, that is your premolar. And then you get the big ones, which are your molars. Right. This here is very difficult to get. Now, I promise you, when I say to you this thing is heavy, it's heavy. Okay? And it's still missing the top part of it. Okay? This thing is big. This thing can open its mouth like yay big. Right? They are my wife's favorite animal. Only she'll know why. Okay? They make funny little grunting moves. And can you tell me, I'm going to count to 10. Try and think, what do you think this animal is? Okay? I counted fast. This thing here, right, is a hippopotamus. Right? A hippo. Now, this is a beautiful animal. Now, let me tell you a little bit about a hippo before you answer whether it's a herbivore, let me move this over a bit, herbivore, omnivore, or carnivore. Hippos spend most of their days in water. Okay? Their whole day in water. They're trying to. Okay? They actually live in big herds. Okay? So they are friendly. Males will fight a bit. But these things, when it comes to night, they leave the water and they go find food in the fields. So these are mistaken for herbivores. These are herbivores. You would say they're herbivores. They've got the nice big teeth, right? Only thing is they've got these big, big tusks, right? Which are their canines. Now those tusks are there for fighting, okay? These are here for to fight the males, right? They use them as sledgehammers. They're just there for fighting. But that's what they always used to think, that it's only a carnivore because it's got a nice big incisors to bite the grass, right? Come to the back and they chew them, and there we go. But these have also been seen to eat meat. Okay? They do eat meat. They do kill men, not to eat them, but because they're in their territory and they're provoking them. Okay? But they have been seen to eat a dead wildebeest if it's lying there. Okay? So you can classify it as an omnivore, but most of the time people say it's a herbivore. Right, so there's just something nice for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I had to carry this upstairs for you, so you must know how strong I've become. He-Man Deluxe here. Right, so what else do I have for you? Those were just the small skulls. Now, before I go onto the board, remember I said to you, we're going to start off very simple, very small. We are going to start off with mammals, right? Because mammals, you got these different types of teeth, okay? And they got the grinding teeth, which are your molars and your premolars and all of that, which are very important. Now we're going to go on to, just thought I'd throw it in there just for information. Let's look at something that is not a mammal. Okay, so I brought two things. One, of course, I'm sure you've all seen it, is a crocodile. Okay, you've seen it all before. Have a look at those teeth. I've opened it nice and wide, right? It's nice and wide, so you can see that every single one of these teeth look like what, right? Looks like a canine. Okay, now if Megan comes this way, come again,
Like I'm
come
coming.
right here in front. Don't stress. I want you to put your hand in there. No, I won't crush it. Put your hand flat, like this, and I just want you to tell me how sharp are these teeth. I won't close it, I promise.
Can I go like that?
You can do as you want. Feel how sharp those teeth are actually.
He'll rip me to shreds.
Okay?
This thing.
Now this will rip. Now this thing has a biting force like you have no idea. So if it does that, you are trapped. Have a look how it completely traps, okay, everything inside. It's very important, right? Now these have all got canine. Don't run away.
Yeah.
Come back, right? So these are nice, okay? This only eats meat, okay? It takes meat, it bites, it turns, and then it swallows it whole. Right, that's the first one I wanted to show you. The next one, okay, let's have a look at a fish. Now, this fish that I brought, now, you must understand that it's old. So a lot of its teeth on the outside have been broken. Right, but what is that? That is a shark. Now, if I have a look at it, I move it down slightly. I want you to get in here. Now, Megan, have a good look and you tell me how sharp those teeth are, even though they're blunt, even at the top here, at the moment.
But there's
Okay?
like 1,000 little teeth in
That's
between.
what I wanted to hear. There's
Yeah.
1,000 little teeth. So what actually happens in real life is the outer teeth, right, they get blunt and fall off, and then another one takes their place. So if you can look inside there, I'm trying to get it as much as possible, okay, you will see there's rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of teeth, okay? Those teeth just get replaced all the time. That's why sharks are so dangerous, right? Same as the crocodile, only the sharp-looking teeth, nothing else, right? And then, sorry, I lied. I got one more for you. No, come hither, right? The last one, you must understand, I brought this one. This was my own pet, okay? It was a pet in my classroom, okay? My children used to love playing with it. I know a lot of you haven't seen the skull of this, but you have seen it, and a lot of you have played with it, and a lot of you are scared of it. But I want you to understand, if you've got a thing called a corn snake, a Burmese python, any type of snake that constricts, it doesn't have poison, this is what the skull looks like. And I want you to have a good look at the teeth. Right, so
What was your snake's name?
one of the teachers named it. It was actually after a bag, but a very, very, very expensive bag. 'Cause
What
she
kind
was
of like expensive bag? Like Louis Vuitton?
That's it.
Really?
Yes, it was a Louis Vuitton. That's it. Now, this thing, it looks small now, but this was 2.5 meters snake in my classroom. That was this thick, and the kids played with it every day. Now, there you go. And I want you to have a look and tell me what you see in those teeth. That is a pet, something you buy at a pet shop that eats rats. Right? Those are needles all over the place. They don't have big, strong teeth, but they have thousands and thousands of needles.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the bottom jaw, as you can see, the bottom jaw has got teeth. The top jaw has teeth, and if Megan removes the two sides slightly, you'll look in the inside or above the palate, there's even more teeth. And all of that does is that bites. Once it bites, it doesn't let go. You'll see all its teeth are facing backwards, so it grabs the prey and it actually moves it in, and that's why you see its jaw moving left and right. It's actually pulling its teeth out and plugging it in again, and moving it out and plugging it in again, and it's pulling it all in. Right. Can you understand now why we only talk, thank you very much, we only talk about mammals when we're doing teeth, because you can get very confused when it comes to reptiles and all these other things. Right, so hopefully you enjoyed that little demonstration and you went crazy. So what I'm going to do is I think you need a stretch, because I need a stretch. When you come back, we'll have a look at the notes and we'll have a good time. Megan, all yours.
Yes. Okay, well, thanks, Lou, because now I've touched a crocodile, a little bit of a snake that's called Louis Vuitton, and also a shark. And the shark, I would never ever want to be bitten by a shark. But I think you do need a break, grade 11s. Please, please come back. There's another quite a few minutes left with Llewellyn and I, and we are so excited to share every single thing with you. So we'll be right back after this ad break. Okay. Welcome back, grade 11s. We are here doing life sciences, proudly sponsored by Macmillan, here with Llewellyn and I on this fantastic Wednesday afternoon. Can you see I brought the crocodile here so we look a little bit more demonstration-like? So I hope you took a nice break because we're ready to get back into all this animal nutrition with Llewellyn and I. Llewellyn, hit it.
Hello. Now, you've got to remember that even though we see things, there is always theory, right? Now, theory can be interesting at times. Now, we're just going to have a look at this. What digestion actually is, okay? It's the sum, okay, of chemical and mechanical digestion. So let's have a look at the board. It's the sum, let's get some color going here, okay? It's the sum of the following processes, which is ingestion, digestion, absorption, okay, assimilation, and egestion. Now, big words, right, like this size words, and they're not that difficult. Now, let me tell you one thing about tests, okay? They always have multiple choice, okay? Then one word answers, then match column A with column B roundabout, okay? Now, all of those put together, okay, is actually almost a pass. If you get full marks for that, you can almost pass already. Okay, so it's very important. If I took a paper which is out of 150, those would be 50 marks already. Right, just think about that. 50 marks for nothing. And what those things are, think about it. Multiple choice, one word answers, give the definitions for, okay? Then it's got the match the columns with. Those three things. Every single one of them is all definitions. Okay, you need to know your definition. So let's have a look at definitions. The first one we're going to have a look at, if I can bring it down, is ingestion. If I have a colored pen, of course. Ingestion. Now, ingestion is exactly what it is. In means I'm taking this and I'm putting it in my mouth. Okay, that is ingestion. It's putting something in your mouth. Okay, you take it from the outside and you're putting food in your mouth. That's ingestion. Very simple. So let's have a look at the definition. Sorry, it's a process where food is taken in. Okay, that's what you're going to do tonight for supper. You're going to sit down. Your mom's going to put this big plate of food in in front of you. You're going to stick with a fork, and you're going to, as you put it in your mouth, that's ingestion. Simple, easy, not difficult. Okay, very simple. In meaning we're taking it in. That's a nice way of looking at it. In means I'm taking it in. The next one, of course, is digestion, okay? This is the mechanical and the chemical process I was talking about. Mechanical, we chewing, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you now, hopefully I haven't put it down. Let me just look. No, I haven't. I want you to give me a word before I get to the next slide. I want to know the big biological term for chewing. Now, Megan, can you remember what that word is?
Big biological term for chewing.
For chewing, don't say it, but can you remember what it is?
Of course I can.
Ah, clever girl. Bright, like you have no idea. Okay, cool. So, if we have a look at this, it's the process whereby a large molecule, there it is broken down into smaller molecules, either by mechanical or chemical. Okay, so we're taking a apple. Remember I said about that apple. And the apple, you're taking a bite out of it. There we're already doing mechanical stuff. We're biting it. There we're taking it from the front jaw, which we cut. We're going to take it to the left side. We're going to chew a bit here. And then we're going to take it to the right side and chew a bit there. And then somebody's going to talk. You're going to stop and listen to them. And you take it to the left side and you chew a bit. Right side and chew a bit. And then you swallow. Now that's not just the end. Okay? Something happens after that as well that actually makes more. Okay? It actually makes you do more. Okay, so I don't want to go any further than that. The next one is absorption. Now, you're going to swallow, you're going to take it to your stomach, then you're going to send it to the large intestine, the small intestines. Large, why do I have to jump the gun? Small intestines, and that is when we absorb. We're taking it from inside, right, well, maybe that doesn't sound right, but from the small intestine, so inside the small intestine, and we're pulling it out into our body, okay? So we're absorbing all the good things from our intestines into our body, or into the bloodstream, should I say. Okay, so do you all get that? From our body into our bloodstream. That's the most important. That is absorption. Now we're going to get to a word, so let's just make sure that I'm right, because it's always a good thing. So let's go. It's the movement through the intestinal wall, so the small intestines. I did say small intestines, right. So the small intestines, there it is, into the blood vessels. You see, I told you, I'm a little bit clever, I think, at times. Now, that is very simple, absorption. Now, the next one, assimilation. Assimilation, sorry, not a simulation, assimilation. Now, that there is quite cool, because that means I'm actually taking it. Watch carefully. I want you to read it with me. Okay, is the process where nutrients are moved into and used by the cells. So now we've taken it from our small intestines. Okay, now you've got to remember it. We've absorbed it into the blood cells, and then from the blood cells, from the blood, we're taking it into every cell that needs to use it. Now, from the blood into every cell we use it is assimilation. Okay, that is quite cool. Assimilation is going from the blood into the surrounding tissues that need everything that we need. Right, so that's assimilation. And then the last one, digestion. Now, that is like getting rid of stuff we don't need. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Put it
Fantastic.
plain and simple. We're getting rid of stuff we don't need. So the poisons. Now remember, we've got, if you remember carefully, we have a through gut system. Remember we did animal tissues, right? And we did how animals are built in that. We've got a through gut. So we've taken it in our mouth. It's a complete pipe. If we stretch this out very long, it's a complete pipe, and the pipe ends at the bottom. But now there's sections that get stopped to slow it down, right? So that pipe all the way down, we need to get rid of the stuff that we haven't absorbed. Okay, you understand that? It's quite cool. It's called feces, by the way. Okay, cool. So let's see what it is. It's the process, if I turn my pen around, it's the process whereby unused nutrients are eliminated from the digestive system. Getting rid of it. That is digestion in a summary. Just the definitions. From the top, it is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. That is digestive, the process of digestion. Okay, we need to start with the most important part, I think, because without that, we can't do the rest. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, we need to first find out what food we should eat. Okay, so we have a look at a food pyramid. Now, this is all there. So I'm going to skip that, and we need to get to this pyramid because the pyramid's very important to me. Okay, so what they say is you should be eating a certain amount of a certain kind of food per day. Like, for example, we've got the breads, right? So your starches and your carbohydrates and all of that. We should be eating a certain amount of that, but we should be eating a lot of that, okay? Then you go to your fruits and vegetables. Yes, just keep your eyes on me all the time. Your fruits and vegetables, and then we have a look at our cheese, meats, and eggs, and all of that stuff. And lastly, the oil and the fat. Okay, so the oil and the fat, that's the last thing we look at. Now, there is scientists that are actually going against us. Okay, they are saying that this is the olden day way of eating. Okay, but you must understand they keep looking for it. So, what they've actually done is these people, these scientists, they've actually done this now. Okay, so think about it carefully. How much carbohydrate should you eat? Very little. Okay, then you have a look at the next one. You got your fruit and vegetables. Okay, now remember, fruit and vegetables have a lot of sugar in it. And that sugar can make you become diabetes. It's got fructose. Now, fructose, if you take glucose and you break it down to make fructose, fructose is the most pure form that we can get. So people with diabetes are also getting that, or also have to take their insulin because of eating fruit. Okay? And even if you are a diabetic and you just eat fruit and not sweets, you're still defeating the object. Right. So, fruit and vegetables, right? Meat, very important, okay? And then they say, lastly, your fats and your oils are very good for you, okay? And I'm not talking about your fat on the pig that you eat or the lamb or whatever. I'm not talking about that fat. I'm talking about good fats, oils, right? Okay, so that is very cool, okay? Servings is not the end of the world. It's got to do with whether you're male or female and how much servings you got. But I put the servings in there so you can see that how much you must eat. But they say that this is a much better diet than the one I've just showed you before. Okay, so you all happy with that? Cool. Now, let's go. We need to start with the most important thing. Here we go. Okay, herbivores. Herbivores, remember, mammals. We only look at mammals. Right, if you look at the herbivores, okay, they eat plant matter, as you all know, okay. Their mouth and their stomach and their esophagus they have changed to actually eat it. So let's have a look at this picture. You've seen it nicely already, okay. Remember the front teeth over there, okay. No teeth over there, and then you get your premolars and your molars. Okay, you see how I've labeled it? Okay, now let's have a look at it. What is this? 0033 and 4033. Now, this confuses a lot of people. This is a very important thing because they're going to ask you this. What is 0033 and 4033? This is what it actually is. This is classified as the top, and this is the bottom. Just going to put bot. Do you all understand that? So you understand the difference between top and bottom of the jaw. Top of the jaw, bottom of the jaw. Remember, I divided all those things. Top of the jaw, bottom of the jaw. And what even makes it worse, okay, is that it's only half the jaw. Okay, so it's only this side. It's not the other side included. So if I pull this one across, okay, look at the bottom. It looks similar, am I right? Okay, that is only half of the jaw. So if I had to count them, okay, the top would be 0. Do you see any teeth there? Nothing. Okay, then it's 0 again. Do you see any canines? No. Then how many premolars? 1, 2, 3. And how many molars? 1, 2, 3. See how it works? So, if I had to say to you, if I really had to say to you, and you need to concentrate on this very carefully, how many teeth are in the top jaw of this animal? The top jaw, the whole jaw. Think about it, okay? If I take 3 premolars, 3 molars on the left-hand side, and I take 3 premolars and 3 molars on the right-hand side, what do I have? 4 times 3 is 12. Right, so we've got 12 teeth at the top. Let's have a look at the bottom. How many incisors do we have? 4. How many canines? 0. How many premolars? 3. How many molars? 3. Okay, all in all, we've got 6 premolars. We've got 6 molars. We've got 0 canines. And we've got 8 incisors. Do you all understand where I'm coming from? So remember, this is top, this is bottom, and it always represents half the jaw, because whatever's on the left is identical to the one on the right. If you look, we are bilaterally symmetrical, which means whatever's on the right is on the left. Okay, so are you going to remember that? Okay, cool. Now, let's go. Remember that the dental formula only shows the teeth on half the jaw. It's the most important thing. You forget that, you're going to get everything wrong. Right, okay, cool. Let's have a look. If I can bring it down. The formula showing of the sheep, as I said, is 8 incisors. Remember I told you, 8 incisors. Okay, it's got your 6 premolars and, where's the other one? 6 molars. Very simple. 6 premolars, 6 molars. That's the whole part. Okay, herbivores, there we go. They need to consume a lot of grass, because they've got, how do I say this? Plant cells have cellulose in them, cellulose walls, and that is difficult to break down. Now, if you break those down, you could get a lot of stuff, but they can't break them down properly. So they need to eat a lot of food to get a little bit of energy, right? So do you understand why you see them grazing all day long? They don't stop. Okay, so that is the most important thing. Plus, they need special chemicals inside their stomach and their esophagus and everything to actually break down the cellulose. So let's have a look at it. Okay, the material gathered, they got to go, as I said, the herbivores must consume a large amount of food, large amount of plant materials to gather enough energy, plain and simple, right? This is because carbohydrates in the plants are protected by a cellulose, right? Which is very difficult to digest. Exactly what I said. The digestion system has difficulty in breaking them down. Okay, very easy. It's not a difficult. Okay, and then of course the enzymes and the bacteria in their digestive system have adapted to breaking down this cellulose so that they can get to the carbohydrates. Right, so that's the first one. That was herbivores. Next one I want to have a look at is my favorite. I love carnivores because they eat meat and they bite, and of course I love my dogs and cats. Of course, so if I pull it down, carnivores are meat-eating animals, and they have to hunt to kill their food. So if you have to hunt, it means you got to do what? You got to get up and you got to use exercise to get everything. Right, so I want you to have a look at that beautiful skull. Okay, it's half. If you have a look at it, look at it. It's close, very close. You see? Okay, there's the canine, there's the canine, there's the front ones, and there's these special teeth that we're going to talk about later. Right, okay, but before we go on, before I carry on with that, I think we need a quick stretch and a break again. Hey, Megan, what do you think?
I think so.
Cool.
Right?
It's all yours.
Okay, cool. Well, mindsetters, I know you've had quite a bit of information in this lesson, so I think it is time. Just quickly go, just even if you stand up and start jumping around or anything, we'll be back right after the break with Llewellyn and I. Yes. Enjoy. Welcome back, grade 11s, and I hope you can see that I've now, thanks to Llewellyn, been eaten by a shark, and we've added to our decorations with a little bit of a snake riding on a crocodile over there. So I hope you guys are interested and you guys jumped around and are ready for the next few minutes of Mindset Learn Extra with Lou and I. So,
thank you. Now, we need to do the dental formula. Now remember, this is the most important thing, is the dental formula. Okay, so everybody that's asked me about the dental formula, it's very important. You have to know them. You got to know the humans one, you have to know the carnivores one, and you have to know your herbivores one. But before I carry on, can you remember I asked what the biological term for chewing is? Can you remember? Okay, well, Megan,
yes.
I know you've got the answer, and I know it's, who is it?
Fraser.
Fraser, that's right.
Fraser Chapeau says chewing is mastication.
Very nice. Mastication. Big word, right? Mastication. That's what you look like when you're walking down the street and you chew chewing gum, you're masticating. Okay, so now, if we have a look at, we left off on carnivores, right? Theirs is 3, 1, 4, 3. So, 3 incisors. Okay, on the left-hand side and 3 on the right-hand side. There is 1 canine on the left, 1 canine on the right. Okay, there is 4 incisors. Right? How do I say it? Incisors. You get 4 premolars, and the other one is 3 molars. But now, can you remember that they don't have those? Okay, so now let's have a look what they actually have. Let's have a look. The digestive features of carnivores, here we go, carnivores, there we go, is the carnassial teeth. Now your carnassial teeth are the ones I was talking about. They sharp at an angle and they cut all your meat. That's why when they eat from the side like this, right? They're actually cutting the meat like razor blades, right? Not like the crocodile and the snake, okay? These things are cutting, they're using scissors. So let's have a look at it, okay? The upper fourth molar, there we go, and the lower first it is the first one. Yes, the first molar have sharp knife-like edges that cut these specific meat that it's eating. Right, so that's what makes them so special, is this carnassial teeth. Right, very, 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 very important. Okay, now, carnivores, also, they are predators. They eat meat all the time. Okay, and meat, okay, has got no carbs in it. I mean, how much carbs do you find in meat? Can anybody tell me?
Carbs in meat.
Yes, how much carbs do you find in meat?
Like nothing, it's just protein.
I see. And that's why we have her. She's brilliant, right? So there's no carbs in meat, okay? So it has to take all this meat in and fat, and it has to break down and give us new energy and new muscles, and it makes protein and all of that. So that's what's so important about these. Meat has low carbohydrate, but rich in other nutrients, as I was saying. And let's see, plant materials, you can get the energy that plants give us from the animals that they eat. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So a cow gets eaten by a lion, right? And this cow that's eaten all the grass gets given the energy to the lion because it was eating grass. Does that make sense? It's nice and simple. Right, so let's carry on. I want to get through this whole thing. And remember, the chewing is very important. Mastication. Okay, don't forget it. Right, so I've told you everything about carnivores that I can at the moment because I want to make sure I get through everything. Now, let's have a look at the next one. Omnivores, okay, eat both. Now look at this dental formula, okay, if I can get it going. 2, 1, 3, 2. 2, 1, 3, 2. 2 incisors, 1 canine, 3 premolars, and 2 molars. Okay? Now, that is the formula for the dental formula for us. Okay? Those are the old monkeys, because you know monkeys have it, and humans. And now we get the new age monkeys, which are 2, 1, 2, 3. Now look at the top is exactly the same as the bottom. The only ones that are different is your herbivores. Okay, so let's have a look at it. There they are. Looks plain and simple and nice. You can't see these big teeth sticking out, can you? Okay, so they are simple and they're nice and they're easy to remember. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now, human digestive system. Okay, we need energy for our body to use and to make our body move in that. So let's have a look at it. Okay, humans eat for 2 reasons: energy and nutrients to keep the body healthy. So we use it for energy and to keep us healthy. Okay, cool. So very, very important. Okay, we need certain things. We need carbohydrates. I'm sure I've put it in here already. Okay, we need carbohydrates, we need minerals, we need all that stuff, right? And all that stuff together actually give us what we need. Okay, so if I have a look at the human, there it is. Okay, all of those we're going to speak about. It's not that difficult, but you've got to know them off by heart. Right, so what do we eat? We got mechanical digestion, and I'm going to just go with that. Just mechanical digestion. Now remember, you masticate, which means you chew, and the minute you're chewing, okay, you've got the most inquisitive organ in the body, which is called your tongue. Okay, that goes and makes the food full of saliva, and it makes a bolus. You swallow a bolus down your esophagus. The esophagus goes through peristalsis movement, which means antagonistic muscles contract and relax. Okay, so it's like squeezing your toothpaste all the way down, and we end up in the stomach. Okay, the stomach, what it does is it adds more acid and all of this other rubbish, and also does all that funny things and going crazy. And when that is all joined with all the chemicals in that, one of the boys asked me, that's why I want you to get it to you. You get this thing called chyme. Chyme is what you find in the stomach after mechanical digestion and everything has taken place. Right, so that goes through it, and then it goes into the small intestine, also going through peristalsis movement. Now, every time I mention peristalsis, my kids do this. Okay, that's not what it is. It is the contracting and relaxing of muscles, and then they antagonistically move together to move food anywhere in the body. Right, so I'm going to stop it there for today. Okay, all these notes are definitely on. Am I right, Megan?
Yes, definitely
They're
on our
all
website.
on there, so you will see them, right? And there's some nice things, there's some nice pictures, and there's a nice question on how they will ask you about the skulls and the dental formula and everything. Right, so hopefully I've helped you. I will see you next week. Join next week. Hopefully we get exactly what I want and it'll be a lot of fun. Right, Megan, it's all
Okay,
yours.
cool. Well, grade 11s, don't forget. You can get any of the notes on mindset.co.za/learn extra. www.mindset.co.za/learn extra. Also, don't forget, tomorrow there's a presenting audition, which is Connections from 9 until 1 at the Randburg Studios. That's all from me and Lou. And don't forget, Macmillan, thank you for sponsoring our show. Thank you,
Cheers.
guys.